We're live, or we may be live. We're getting there. Okay. Like Facebook Live or something? We could probably add that to what we do, just another platform. Wouldn't hurt anything.
I think she's kind of taking on as like a project.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
She was with the
Just hang on right there until we get the prayer done, and then you can have them all come in. They're first on the agenda, so. And the clock's right now.
Executive session on transfer station.
No. All right, well, since Mr. Manning's not here, I'll open this morning with prayer. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the blessings that come with it. We thank you for the privilege of living in this great nation and in this county. Father, that you be with us this morning as we make wise and prudent decisions. And we pray for those in our community that are sick and in danger. And Father, we just tell you that we love you and thank you and pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I assume everybody's had an opportunity to look over the minutes. Are there any changes or corrections or additions that need to be made? If not, let the record show the minutes are approved as presented. First on our agenda this morning, we have we've got a pretty big crew coming in this morning.
Like 20
Are there?
cheerleaders.
Good. Y'all come on up here. You got to be up in front. I know he told you to go back there, but come up in front, and you guys turn around and you can kind of face the crowd. Good morning, everybody.
Morning. We want them up front center.
Yeah, up front. That way you all can hide us when the picture time comes. Y'all have to back up just a little bit in this curve here. There you go. Good. Yeah.
There's
Man,
at
what a
least-
good
at
group.
least 20.
Much better looking at you.
Yeah. Jim's not in charge of counting anymore. Harvey, come on in here. I'm gonna stand up where you can see me. There she is. I just want to welcome you all to court today, and we're so very proud of you for your accomplishment of the dedication and hard work that you've done. Before I read my proclamation, Harvey, I'll turn it over to you. You can introduce your coaches or all of them, however you want to do it. I'm just going to yield to you for a few minutes so we can stand up where we can see you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Harvey Curtis, and I'm the head coach of the high school cheer program. And we started our nationals journey a few years ago, and each year we set new goals. And this year we were like, we are not leaving Orlando without making it to finals. And so we made it to finals, and we placed 11th, and we were so excited. It was game day varsity division. And Christina Ratley and her mom Sabrina, they coached middle school and our JV team, and they went. This group, it was their first group ever going, and they made it through 3 rounds to finals and placed 8th in the JV division. And so the future of Union County Cheer is super bright, and we just have huge goals moving forward. We feel like nothing is ever going to be good enough now unless the girls make it to finals and place top 10. So it's a huge deal. Cheer teams from all over the nation come over, and most of them are from Kentucky. Kentucky is the most competitive cheerleading state in the United States, no doubt. And so these girls are right there amongst them. So we're super proud. So, and Sarah Rout is the assistant varsity coach, but she teaches at the middle school, and she had to cover a class, so she couldn't come today. Christina works at the middle school as well. Sabrina works for Special Projects, and I'm at Sturgis, and Mr. Hunter was kind enough to let me go for the time for us to be recognized, because it's really special. We really, really appreciate you guys doing this. This is awesome.
Our privilege.
Yeah.
Our privilege.
Feels really good.
Do you want to? I won't put you on the spot because there's so many. But do the girls want to introduce themselves real quickly?
Let's do it, girls.
And your grade. And your grade.
And we do have one that's taking the ACT today. The juniors are doing their mandatory
I thought we missed one. I wasn't sure. Did we hear everybody? I was just thinking you all were so quiet, but I bet if we were in bleachers, you would have shouted at us, shouted your name. So I emailed Harvey yesterday. There's not a lot of cheerleader proclamations that we have to draw from. So I cheated a little bit, and she gave me some good information. So I'll read this, and we'll go from there. Proclamation: Union County High School Varsity and JV Cheerleader Week, March 8th through the 14th, 2020. Whereas the Union County High School JV and varsity cheerleaders both won their national qualifier competition in the fall of 2019 in Brentwood, Tennessee, and whereas both squads competed in the National High School Cheerleading Championship in Orlando, Florida, and both squads advanced to the national finals for the first time in Union County High School history. And whereas the UCHS varsity squad placed 11th nationally in the varsity game day division, and the UCHS junior varsity squad placed 8th nationally in the junior varsity traditional division. And whereas the Union County varsity and JV cheerleaders and coaches play a key role at Union County High School by promoting school spirit, leadership, sportsmanship, and encourage and support all teams and individuals to make a commitment to excellence. And whereas the Union County varsity and JV cheerleaders and coaches must demonstrate a commitment to teamwork, sportsmanship, and discipline. They must be able to have the ability for stunting, dancing, tumbling, voice projection, showmanship, creativity, and be able to interact with the crowd and teams. And whereas the Union County varsity and JV cheerleaders most importantly maintain high academic standards to participate as a cheerleader. And now, therefore, do I, Adam R. Onan, Union County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim March 8th through the 14th Union County Varsity and JV Cheerleaders Week, and encourage all of our citizens to congratulate and honor these student athletes and the coaching staff for their commitment to excellence and their dedication to the sport of cheer. I would entertain a motion. So
moved. Second.
All right, motion moved and seconded. Any discussion? What do you guys want to say?
I just want to tell you girls that we're very proud of you, your hard work, your work ethic in the classrooms, your coaches, and to your parents for what they do. And y'all are to be commended. Thank you.
Same thing. We want to congratulate you. The work and the dedication is, you know what it takes now to get where you got. Now you don't want anything less. So that puts the standards for cheer way up there. I mean, we had the rushers in here a few weeks ago, and they had the same dedication. If we get the dedication out of the rest of the teams, the rest of the sports, I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of hard work, but it will carry on later in life too. If you work this hard, when you get out of school and at your job, you'll move up just like you did in this cheer competition. So, congratulations.
Yeah, as Jerry said, we had the wrestlers in here, and I will say it's a much prettier group than that group. But
Not even close, really.
yeah, congratulations, and appreciate your hard work. You make Union County proud, and thank you, coaches, for what you do.
I'd like to say thank you also. It looks like with all these freshmen and eighth graders that we could loaded, so I expect nothing less than what we had this year at least. So, you know, should do that a lot better. But congratulations on your year, and good luck in the future.
Congratulations to all of you, what you've accomplished. I know you put in a lot of time. Your coaches put in time. Parents and grandparents make sacrifices too. Our daughter played tennis, and I know there's sacrifices all the way around. And when I look at the honor roll, I see a lot of your names on that honor roll too. So that's great. Congratulations. And this work ethic you develop now, and also your study ethic will help carry you through life. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you young ladies. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll just finish by saying I'm not sure that the general public knows what cheerleading 2020 looks like. I think Jerry, you married a cheerleader, correct? As I remember back in the day, we graduated together, and yeah, it was. I'll tell on us both now. But what you all do is phenomenal. The athleticism and dedication, the skill that you do it with, we are proud of you. We're very proud, and I agree with Magistrate Burns with all the youth on this program. We'll just leave this a standing date. From here on, we'll expect you back here next year, and we'll do it again, maybe a few different faces, but we are really proud of you,
Yeah,
and
we sure are.
congratulations to all of you. Well earned, coaches as well, well earned and well deserved. Thank you for the leadership you all provide as well. So,
Like Magistrate Clemens said, the parents have got to be dedicated. Got to be dedicated. They got to be ready to travel and give up a lot of time and send you everywhere and be there with you, right? And they were there with you. A lot of money, a lot of fundraising, a lot of money, but
And
yeah, was it worth it?
go ahead. We'll reserve a spot for you next year at this
Right.
time.
We'll bring you through town with fire trucks.
there you go.
Y'all hear the guarantee, right?
All in favor of this proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Proclamation carried. Well deserved, ladies. We're gonna meet in the hall. We'll take a quick picture.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
That should be easy to get together. Right?
Yeah.
Formation, right? Right, you don't have it. A little WKU support today, huh?
He just forgot.
I'm good. My niece just played.
Okay, good.
Which is good news.
Yeah, that's good.
You're holding on to that. You know me. I'll just come flying in, crash through it.
Yeah.
If I got 3 things going on, maybe behind.
What's that? Have to do that? Oh yeah, man. That's a great group.
That's not true.
Oh, no, don't do that. Tell him not to do that.
We're good.
He's gonna come up here and turn the heat down. Leave from Thursday. Yeah, no, no. I thought he might have been around town. It's not so hot now, so we got out in the hall and cooled off a little. No, no, it's those new boilers. It's those new boilers.
They are working.
They are working. All right, thank you all for that and giving us just a couple minutes. Next on the agenda is our Conservation District Annual Report. Tommy Rudd is the chairman of the Conservation District, so I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Good morning, thanks for allowing me to speak this morning.
It'll catch you right there.
As you know, the Conservation District operates with 7 volunteer board members, and we have 1 employee, Debbie Eubank, who's been with us 20 years now. Our main focus is to provide funding, state and federal, for conservation practices in the county. And we also oversee the 5 watershed boards who maintain our waterways in this county. Last year when I was here, I told you that our our state funds were going to dry up. We were told by the state government that they were cutting in half last year and there would be 0 this year. Well, that did not turn out to be the case because we had 100% report card on our activities. We were allotted $6,254, so that's a lot better than 0.
Mm-hmm.
Because our funding primarily comes from the fiscal court in terms of an annual now of $41,600, and then state direct aid, and then we also rent a no-till drill for conservation practices. And those are the sources of our income. So, state cost share. Last year, we had contracts totaling $77,234. State cost share is a continuous sign-up for landowners and farmers in this county. Currently, this year, we have 6 applications going into May. That is continuous sign-up, so anytime anyone needs a conservation practice, state cost share is a 75-25 program, where the landowner pays 75%, and the state will pick up 25%. So it's a good program. EQIP is a federal program, an environmental quality incentive program. That's fully funded. And last year in Union County, $452,000. That was comprised of 2019 and catch up on 2018-2017 contracts. There was some that were lagging behind. CRP is continuous, Conservation Reserve Program, where you put property into a 10-year program, either the entire parcel or borders around the field through various operations, and that's also a continuous sign-up program. Conservation loans for individuals or companies who are investing in conservation equipment or infrastructure. We have a 1% loan program that's available through the state. We administrate it as a local entity. Those are 3 to 7-year programs. And then our Safety Day is the biggest ongoing activity, and that's where we've taken 5th graders to the Sturgis John Arnold Arena or the Fair Complex if the weather's nice and cooperates. And we've been doing this since 1993, so we're in our 28th year. And so far we've had 4,623 5th graders go through this program. And to this day, we have people, older teens, 20s, 30s, come back and say, I remember those shirts.
Mm-hmm.
They were their Lean Arm Safety Day shirts. And some of the lessons learned. We've heard those stories as well. This year, for the next operating budget, we're requesting the same amount as we have the past 8 years,
Mhm.
41,600. Until I see an operational in the red for 6 months or more, I'm going to keep it that way.
Okay.
So far, we're able to manage with just that.
We appreciate that. I'd entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions?
Just a question on the CRP program. Do we have strong participation here in the county cafeteria? Is that
We also have WRP, Wetland Reserve Program, which is mainly in the river areas. But anytime CRP, periodically the federal government will say, we're at our limit, we're cutting off, and then when they recycle, which they have just recently, we have a big line of landowners. seeing benefits. Sure. Now, the rates have dropped dramatically this year compared to last, probably in the lowest thing. It's basically a rent for not planting, but you have to maintain grass, depending on the practice. Some are wild native grasses, some are flowers. And if you want more information about our group, we're on Facebook, Lincoln County Conservation District.
I'll just add that I had the privilege of being on that board until I decided to run, and then I had to you can't be a candidate and run, and they do a lot of work, and there's a lot of good things that happen through that department, and that safety day is one of them. I know all the emergency services take place. We have folks from Kenergy or KU that show kids about electrical downline safety and what it'll do to a hot dog.
The most popular.
Yeah, which they a lot of oohs and ahs through that. So
Firehouse, a house that catches smoke fire, they're inside and they do what we do.
yeah, it's a really good program, and it's always fun to see all those fifth graders come piling off the bus, and I just get to welcome them and leave, and they have to wrangle them all day. But it's a good program, very good program.
At the end of the day, there's usually a meteorologist from one of the television stations who's there, and they'll bring a helicopter in and have a mock accident.
Very good.
Excellent.
Any other questions for Tommy? All those in favor of the past 8 years amount of $41,600, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Tommy, we appreciate it, and thank you for keeping your rates. I mean, it's taxpayer dollars, so we appreciate that very much, and your good use of it. So thank you. Next on the agenda, we have Alex Caudle from the governor's office. Alex is new to the court here with us, and so, but he's not. He's kind of like a neighbor, lives up in Henderson. So, Alex, I told you I'd just turn the floor over, and just tell us what you got.
All right, thank you, Judge. I'll try to be brief. I know y'all have the lengthy agenda, but like the judge said, I'm from Henderson, born and raised there. We're in the Henderson Area Arts Alliance most recently, so we appreciate the court's advance support there as well. But happy to be here on behalf of the Department of Local Government, Member Bashir. We'll let you know, as far as I can tell from reading the history, this is the first time the DLG's had a field rep from our grand region, the whole history of the organization. So I think that shows the importance of this region to our governor. And I can ever help you all in any way, let me know. We do have lots of great grants and other programs that we offer through the DLG. So I'm just a judge. If y'all apply,
Thank you.
be sure to let me know.
Okay.
If there's ever any events or meetings coming up in Union County that I can attend, just let me know.
Thank you, Alex. I was at, I guess, the judges' conference when Commissioner Keene was kind of new on the scene and got to sit in on a brief meeting. He spent, I think, all day, and it didn't take him long to get behind because he wanted to listen to folks, and I appreciate it. Alex was part of that meeting, and so it was nice to see a friendly face and or a welcoming, just a familiar face, I should say. So we're appreciative of the partnership that we have, and look forward to what we've got going. And we've got a couple of projects I'll share. I know we're going to meet in a little while, so I'll share those with you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Alex, could you tell the governor I'm proud of his selection of you? You were good to deal with when you were at Henderson Community College, and it's good to have somebody in our immediate area who we can go to. So you can send my compliments, if you would, to Governor Bashir on his selection.
We were at the Magistrate Conference last week and heard the governor speak, and he talked highly of Western Kentucky and Coast everything, so.
Yeah, and we're appreciative of those.
Very appreciative.
I'm going to talk about that in my part too, but yeah, obviously we're thankful for that.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Alex.
you, Appreciate it.
Next on the agenda, we have awarding of the Bunger Road Bridge. Sent that to Sean for go over all those, make sure everybody was in line and that we knew what we were doing. And when we awarded those bids, I'll just remind everybody quickly, AA Services, I think they're out of Henderson, was at $95,900, but then it'd be less 18,000 because they added the concrete in there, and the county's going to pay for that because we can do that without taxes. Another from Triple C out of Cynthiana was $142,000, and then we had one from Knight Construction for $198,000. So Sean, where are we?
Yeah, looked at it and it seems like the low bidder is qualified. I would recommend contracting this away.
Okay. 95,900.
They are registered.
Okay.
They put a bridge into the county school.
Okay.
Like road bridge is,
Okay, very good. I'd entertain a motion to award that bid.
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion on that?
Sean, what all will be the responsibilities of Double A?
Well, the county is gonna take the old one out, haul off all the debris, their responsibility to form up, install the foundation, we'll pay for concrete, and we'll have to get the bridge further down there, and they'll install the bridge. We'll go back, fix the road and put the gravel and stuff.
Fix the approaches to it. Yeah.
Basically, the installation,
Okay.
they're responsible.
Pretty standard for what we've been doing in the past.
That's how we've done that,
So the county will get the old one out, prep whatever kind of needs to be done for them to install it, and they'll take the bridge and install it.
yes, sir.
Okay.
All goes smoothly,
So what's the time?
Just-
What,
I'm not sure on that. I was talking to Jim a little bit, we have slow season is, farmers be out and cropping here soon.
kind of work around that, like we've done all the rest of them?
I'm sure Jim has been, I've had several calls of some farmers concerned about right during planting season, but time it's all pulled off, it'll probably be summer anytime by the time we get everything.
I'd say it'll be- We normally get them knocked out 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Got 'em done.
So, but the good thing is the bridge is not going to get installed until we get the old one out. So we're kind of, we got the keys to that.
We always do work around.
Yeah, good.
But,
All right. Appreciate your efforts on that. Thank you for that,
Sean, on
Sean.
the time frame, is there a time from beginning to finish, when they start to finish, is there any time frame?
Our specs are, like I said, usually it takes 2-3 weeks. We have to shut that road down, obviously, we'll probably do the service, they cold. By the specifications, I think it's 180 days.
Double A has within 70 days,
70 days.
or they start paying.
Yeah,
Okay.
weather days in there.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Because they're probably gonna wanna get it and get their money anyway, so. Hopefully.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next, award Moffett Lake tractor bid. Cody was unable to be here this morning, so I'll pitch it to you, Magistrate Ricketts.
Okay. You've got in front of you a listing of the bids on the various tractors. We have met a couple times. We bid, myself, Magistrate Burns, and Cody, and reviewed these, and we are gonna make a recommendation that we purchase the John Deere 4044M compact tractor from Hudson at a price of $41,894.66. That is the second lowest bid. However, that's a 2020 model. Where the lowest bid was a 2018 model. We think that cost differential is clearly the values in the 2020 model. So with that said, I move that we purchase the 44M compact tractor from Hudson at the price of $41,894.66.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion for, questions or discussion?
Okay, is that just the tractor unit itself?
No, that's
That includes
that's
the
backhoe and loader, front loader and backhoe. That's a complete unit.
Whole works?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And all of those that you have listed were priced the same. They all had that. The Wayne Supply doesn't have the capacity, but it was spec'd out with the loader and the backhoe.
Apples down.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 6, rebid the Moffett Lake cabin. Sean, or who, no, I'll throw it to Jim or whoever wants to take it.
We met with the Moffett Jim and Jim. Adam and myself and Cody, all of the cabins that we
We had some without appliances, some with. This will create a uniform bid that will be easier for those guys to hit a target. It's easy to hit. Yeah, and you don't know what you're shooting at. It's kind of hard to hit. So I think this is a good plan moving forward. I'd entertain a motion for that. I'm sorry. Let me give the dates. We want to rebid those cabins the 11th and 18th, and we'll open on the 24th of March. And Sean has those specs ready for the bidders. So we already have them printed off and ready. The 11th, the 18th, and open the 24th. I'd entertain a motion for that.
Second.
Was that a motion you had?
Yes.
Okay. Motion and second. Any discussion?
What time frame are we looking for to finish this project? Will they be finished this
Hey.
summer, or?
ASAP.
As soon, yeah.
I'm gonna say sooner the better.
As soon as possible.
Okay.
We're also bidding out a pre-manufactured unit, Joe, that would be able to buy one that's probably, made in a manufacturing environment, they bring it down there and deliver it, that sets up for 2-3 weeks. We're also doing that, that's an option too, that option be a lot quicker than stick
Right.
So will that be in the?
It's the same standard. So,
Right.
So they'll meet all the standards on the bid?
right.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll all, and then so either whether we get made on
Really, we
site.
wanna do this. We
Yeah.
wanna have as many bids as we get.
Absolutely. And we were thankful that we got those bids last time, but it's not fair to them. What we were asking really wasn't fair for them to hit a fine target on us. So I think it's the thing to do. Obviously, mentioned the wrestlers. They have a huge camp. We'd love to have them in to participate where they could use them this summer, mid-June. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next is our number 7, building automation control system contract for renewal. I met with Coach. We've been with Harshaw Train for quite a while, and they came up with a cost that was concerning to him, and so they had basically a bid of $19,800 for the courthouse. I'm sorry, they had a quote. Let me be correct in my terminology. They had a quote of $19,800 for the courthouse, $12,300 for the annex. So he reached out to another company that's kind of in this western Kentucky part, and they're going to provide the same services for $3,298.
For both of them? Or?
Yes.
Quite
Staggering.
My goodness.
And HMC actually they have an office in Madisonville, Miss Virginia, HMC. And so obviously when I heard that price discrepancy, I thought can't be talking about the same thing. And Coach has met with both of them, and he is confident that we are talking about the same thing. So, we're talking about, 30 some odd $1,000 versus we're going to save $30,000. And so this is for a 3-year commitment at $3,298. That's the one Coach, if he were here, he would recommend. He was planning on being here, but we had some issues at the senior building, and when the plumbing stopped up, that takes precedent over the court meeting. And I'm thankfully, man, that guy's busy. And I want to emphasize how thankful I am that he wasn't satisfied with that, and he spends taxpayer money very well, and he's always looking for ways that we can do things in a inexpensive, frugal way without cutting too many corners. And so it is my recommendation that we go with HMC for $3,298 for a 3-year term, and I'd entertain a motion for that.
I'll put that form of motion for a 3-year contract.
Is there a second? Motion second. Any questions?
I'm sure Coach checked on this company, and he's aware it's a reliable company.
They are, and they, they deal in Thoroughbred Park, the Louisville Slugger Field. They handle some big name, University of Pikeville. They handle some big name.
He did his homework.
He did his homework, and he was very comfortable with that. And in fact, one company had said that some of the parts were going to be obsolete, and this new company said, I can get any part you need. So, and already priced some parts that were extremely cheaper and I don't mean, less expensive, I should say. Not those are two different things. Cheaper and less expensive sometimes. So anyway, I feel good about this, and I couldn't be more proud of the effort he put in to do that to save us money. He's a real asset to the team, and I appreciate it.
Staggering differential.
It is. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So all those.
I'm gonna take their cabin.
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it.
That's right.
Yeah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. 2019 clerk's excess fees. Garrick, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Morning,
Morning.
Gary. Excess fee amount for the 2019 fiscal year for the county clerk's office is $77,826. Again, that's $77,826. That's pretty close to what we had budgeted to give back. Our budgeted amount was $76,800. So pretty close to that. Be happy to answer any questions if you guys have any questions.
It looks like you're having a good year.
Yeah. Beginner's luck, I guess.
We appreciate that.
Pretty good estimate on what you estimated, what you brought in.
Yeah,
Close as you get. I would think.
real pleased with the way that turned out.
Somebody crunched some numbers, didn't they?
We did.
Since,
It's my second day on the job, too, Joe.
Just imagine what you can do on the third.
Yeah, that's right.
We're expecting to be right on this year.
That
We'll do our best.
I thought when Garrick told me, that he had to get this budget done, and he took over the 7th, and it had to be in the 8th. I thought, man, that's some pretty high cotton right there to try to get
Daunting
through.
task.
It wasn't even stressed either, was it?
Yeah.
This funnel never came in, I'm like, worked out nice, so.
I'll entertain a motion to accept those excess fees.
So-
Second.
Motion by Jim Ricketts, second by Master Clemens. Thank you, Garrick. Any further questions?
yeah, this is the fun part of the meeting, Garrick. Thank you.
And pressure's on the sheriff's office here in a minute. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Garrick.
Jim, there's your contractor right there.
There you go.
2019 sheriff's excess fees. Miss Kathy, I think, is with us this morning.
I didn't know you had to speak to anybody.
He didn't tell you that, did he?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Anyhow, Mickey asked me to fill in for him for the sheriff's office, and we're gonna turn over to the fiscal court a total of $96,566.86.
All right. I'd entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
And second. Any questions?
When we get the money.
I'll Miss Kim and Lissa get it, but I'll take it from you. So
It's in there's 2 checks that he held it for a little bit.
yeah, I get to look at it for a few minutes.
Kathy, did you want to comment anything else on it in particular, or is it pretty cut and dry?
Cut and dry. That's how much extra we have that we didn't spend.
I'll just say from my conversations with Sheriff Arnold, I think this is a little more than he was expecting as well. So he's working hard, and so everybody's pitching in, pulling hard. So, and we thank you for all the bookkeeping work over there. We know where that comes from.
Let's say the women over there.
And I think Sheriff
Thanks,
Arnold's
Ken.
wife had a medical procedure this morning, that's why he wasn't here, so that's.
Okay. Thank you.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have the memorandum of agreement from DLG, and this is for some House Bill 200 coal severance project. This is the last step in the process that we get, and this is for the boilers in the courthouse for the total amount of $46,850. We've already gotten our letters of concurrence, been signed off by DLG, and this is the last step in that process. I'd entertain a motion for that. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? It's almost a shame that we didn't have a tough winter to prove how good they were, but
We can testify.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that they have shut down the Eden Pures pretty good, so that's saying something. That's saying something in our office. I'd entertain a motion for that. We got that, didn't we? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 11, set dates for elevator bids. Sean, do you want to jump in again? I'll pitch to you.
Yeah, we're, gonna rebid the elevator project, I don't know, it's probably been a month when we opened those bids. Since then, I've talked to a local contractor, Shepherd Construction, he's done work for us before, and he's pretty confident, thinks that it can get lower than what it was, so we decided to rebid that. And hope, we're gonna improve on that last, number, you know, it's on the way through.
And I will add that one of the bidders has expressed interest in rebidding that as well. When they, and I think that has come from discussion at our first court meeting when we said we may redo that later, and they wanted to be notified when we do. So it'll go out the same way. The advertisement will go out the same way, and so you know when we got those bids. Let me back up. I started this project because I was given pretty good counsel that we could do this for around that $300,000 figure. So that's why we went with the engineer. And when the engineer came back, he was a little bit less than that. And so I was really shocked when the bids came in. So I'd like to give this one more run. And we've talked to DLG. They think this is a great, Alex, you know, so you'll be aware. This is a great coal severance project. We want to make our courthouse accessible to everybody. It would also allow us possibly to move this meeting upstairs. We've been having a lot of big crowds, and it would be nice if we could have more room for more people to join us and be part of our part of the government. So
One of the biggest things to talk to the previous bidders, is getting, you know, you're tearing out the old building, and you gotta basically haul each piece of jackhammer concrete out, so that adds a lot of more work, more time, more cost. So some of the logistics there has caused the price to be a little higher. By talking to the bidders, I know they were issues that probably could have rose the price up. So, you know, we'll think creatively, maybe get the best way to get some kind of system to get it out there. You know, it's not like you get a backhoe in there and dig it out and put it in the truck. You know, it's not, can't do it on this job. So, some logistics there that maybe some people can work out and get a better, get the price.
So I'd like for us to advertise again, same dates, the 11th and 18th of March, and we would open those bids on the 24th. And I would entertain a motion for that. Motion made and second. Is there any discussion?
Well, the architect will still use the same architect.
Where's that House Bill 810? Just give that sheet, turn it over to her. Turn it over to her. Okay.
Okay, and is that gentleman gonna come in and be a part of this?
He
or-
will, I told him today that we can handle this part, you know, but he and I, you know, discuss everything we're doing here, so he will be part of this going forward. We've definitely put him.
The architect? Yeah, and he was really surprised.
Yeah.
He was surprised by the bidding as well. He was surprised and disappointed. I
He
will
hurt
say.
his feelings.
He was very disappointed.
Yeah, he said he doesn't miss projects like that, so it was disappointing to him.
Judge, is there any opportunity for matching funds or grants?
Well, we looked into that, and we actually called and got some wisdom from DLG. So if we do try to get a CDBG grant, then that pushes us way back, and then we also fall into prevailing wage, and we have some issues. And it was at their recommendation that we don't go the matching route. That's how that decision was made. I brought Joanna in, and obviously she has those contacts, and DLG was really good. They got back to us in a very timely manner so we could present this today to what's our best approach with this. And so that's advice we got from them. So.
Okay.
And that would have been our matching source. So.
Right.
But we have several things in the hopper that they are helping us with, so it's not like we're cutting them out of anything.
On our architect, will we be paying him again on any involvement in the project? Is there
There's probably once the construction starts, there'll be a fee set in there for, construction monitoring, it's typical, but I haven't.
just like if we'd awarded a bid initially, it would have been?
The
okay.
only extra cost that we're going to incur from this is our advertising expense. A little bit of time, paper, maybe. But
Yeah, they're not in the field for this project.
that part is complete. His engineering services, architectural services are complete. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. House Bill 810, training approvals. Lissa?
Yes, I want to explain this, especially for the ones that have been on the court longer. At our budget workshop this year, the state has changed some regulations, and so when you all participate in your training and you get your House Bill 810 hours and you get your check, before I would get a letter from DLG. You all would also get a copy of that letter, and then it has to run through payroll, which payroll is a pre-approved expense, and the next payroll, you just get your check. Well, now, even though it still runs through payroll, which is a pre-approved expense, before I can run it through payroll, I am supposed to present those letters. So there were 3 letters that came the end of January that were paid out the first meeting or the first payroll in February, which was right before we met. So to go back and correct that, I've got a packet of 3 letters that were paid out, and then there's 2 letters that have not been paid out yet, that once these are approved, I'll get paid out the next payroll. But I wanted, since this was the first time in a change, I wanted to explain why this was having to happen when it's never happened before. So, we had 2 magistrates and
Thank you, ma'am.
jailer paid out, and then we have the sheriff and clerk who can now be paid out.
So you need approval on payment on Jailer Elders, Magistrate Floyd, Magistrate Burns, Clerk Thompson, and Sheriff Arnold, is that right?
Yes.
I didn't get to the back one. I'd entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? This is just to keep us in the good graces of everybody and so that the court kind of keeps track of who does those trainings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Treasurer's report.
No problems.
No problems.
Everything looks great.
We like that.
We'll see when March ends and we're at 3/4 of the way in, we'll hopefully still get our
Okay.
happy mark, but end of February.
We're on target for a good 3/4,
Yes, sir.
third quarter in. So I'd entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report pending audit.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Claims. Let's see, we went through those yesterday and had a signature too, but in the grand scheme of what we go through, a lot of times there really weren't that many. So we think we've got all those signatures acquired. Are there any bills that should not be paid at this time? Seeing none, let the record show that all bills are to be paid. I have transfers down here. I don't have that in my packet, I don't think. Here we go. There we go. Thank you.
I was gonna say, I really think.
We got 'em.
You did. We got them.
We have transfers, just jail, just,
Well, there were 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One was interfund jail, and the other was
Back
the
page.
cash CD,
Mhm.
which I had discussed with you, which I will be rebidding out, but it just cleared out on Monday, I think it was, or maybe it was last Monday. And after court and we finished these deals, I was gonna see where my funds lay and how long I was wanting to
Okay.
bid out. So
Right.
that's the only reason I haven't bid it out.
yeah, and when, just for clarity, when Alyssa's talking about, I think the magistrates know, but for everybody else, we'll send around to all the banks, excuse me, requesting their rate, and that's the way we do that, way we send those out, so it's I'd entertain a motion to approve the transfers.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I have just a couple of items that I want to talk about. We're headed to Frankfurt. Judge Henry are headed to Frankfurt. We were planning on going tomorrow, but we didn't get far enough through the Senate to make some headway on the co-severance part of the budget. And so obviously thankful that the governor wants to send that coal money back to counties, and I think there were just a couple of tweaks that were made in the House, and we'll go up and see where it lies with the Senate. But the governor's intent all along was to get that back to coal-producing counties, and that's where it's headed. So I am cautiously optimistic that's going to happen coming through the House and Senate. So we're monitoring that. Danny, I wanted to say Danny and the crew picked up the roads. Tina Wagner and what was the other one? Was out there with it. I didn't write it down, but anyway, he told me he picked up both those roads. 7 gums, and he picked up 17 bags. And I say that to brag on his crew as well. They pick up when I say tons of trash, that's not an exaggeration. Last year, I think it was over 3,000 miles of roads that they picked up, and so we're thankful for what they do, and the jail trustees and Danny overseeing that project. And you see them out and about in the county all the time doing work, and so we're appreciative of that help from the jail over there. One more thing I want to add, radio update. Magistrate Wyatt we've been talking about some radio issues. Our first responders in the county that get on scene with handheld radios are sometimes vulnerable to being able to talk back to dispatch. Most of the time they're vulnerable, I'll add. And so we did an RF study seeing how we can cover the county, and we have that study. What we found in that study is it's going to probably be $1.5 million in 3 years to fix it. But we also have the option, in the meantime of all this transpiring, Sheriff Arnold installed a repeater that is based in his deputy, or in his sheriff's vehicle. So when he shows up on scene, all of those handhelds that are around that scene go through his repeater, and it converts them to 100 watts as opposed to 25. Is that what the handheld? So what we're waiting on Don for some quotes, but I think for less than $20,000, we can run a pretty good test in the county to put some in our other emergency vehicles. I think at Morganfield, we're going to put one on the rescue squad. We're going to put one in Sturgis on a fire truck, Waverly and Uniontown. And they have all the bugs worked out of those. There was a problem when everybody showed up, and everybody's tried to do one thing. Now they've got them, the first on scene takes priority for everything that shows up. And the deputies have found that these are working great. And so with the potential of some high-speed internet coming in, and in the next year to 3, this would be a good way to bridge that gap until we find out what the high-speed internet is going to do for us. And so I don't have any quotes at this moment. I hope to at the next one, where we can get that test started quickly. But I am really optimistic that we can help protect our first responders out in the field much better. And if those 4 or 5 do what we think they will, then we'll probably be coming back for about that many more. And that should have the county very well covered from those guys when they show up on scene. So just an update on what we've done and how we've proceeded today. I'll throw it over to Magistrate Wyatt.
Yes, sir. I just want to echo your sentence on the Joe crew picking up the trash out there. Very appreciative of it, all the work he done. Have you been a lot of questions? Have you heard anything on the landfill yet, or you still?
This
still talking. We met, in fact, we met with Judge Newcomb and Judge Henry, and I know that they're doing some side talks with Judge Henry in Webster County. So that's just another thing that the dominoes are going to have to fall just right, but it's still a potential. I don't know if I said this or not, but I guess the benefit from our side is they're getting a little bit of pressure about just that landfill kind of being in limbo right now. It's going to have to do something with it, so that's to our advantage, and a new management team that is more growth oriented. So
I will add that I sat with some magistrates at the conference last week, and one of them happened to work for Republic before he became a magistrate, and he had heard they were really looking into our landfill. So if he had heard that,
that's good news.
that's good news.
That's good news. Thank you.
Butler County.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Which it just came up, you know, they're going through some landfill issues right now, themselves, but he worked and he oversaw the Uniontown. That was his
Very
territory.
good. Very good.
So he said it's definitely been in talks. So.
Very good. Back to you, sir.
And then I'd just like to thank Allen's Body Shop and Teagues and Pearl Printing for all they do for as far as advertisement. They do a lot for the youth in this county as far as advertising, and they're an asset. And I just want to shout out to them.
They always provide our wrestling plaque
Yes.
for no fee to the county. So
Big
yeah.
shout out to Allen's and Teagues for all they do. That's all I got, sir.
Thank you. Magistrate Floyd.
With the same conference, all they talked about was Census 2020. So I would like to get to our census expert, shout out, and let her give a little update on the census.
Far from an expert.
She knew who I was talking about.
Probably this week, but I have not received mine yet. I don't know, just the census, has anyone else gotten theirs in their mailboxes? Not yet. So once you get that, just go online and complete it, just as soon as you do it. It's supposed to be 10 minutes for the next 10 years. It's kind of a catchphrase. You're also gonna get a reminder on your water bills, on your electric bills this month as well, and the months of March and April to go and complete your census. If you have not done it before May, then you will receive a home visit from the census staff. So, Jerry, help me with the date. Is it the 21st or the 28th for the House of the House of the 28th? Okay, I thought it was the last day. So we are going to have a booth there with several computers so that people can actually go on and do the census right then and there. We may provide some incentives. We got some T-shirts made for the ball game a couple weeks ago. We still have some of those left. So just everyone remind anybody and everybody to complete your census. I'm also going to go on air with WMSK and let them know. I want to see people starting to get their flyers before I do it in the mail, just that way I can say, hey, you've already gotten them, and now you need to go online and complete it. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on there with Johnny. Right. Does anyone have any questions about the census? We've had a couple questions. Let me just clear this up. We've had a couple questions with some of our, like Breckenridge, Job Corps, that have several residents in one area, and from what I understand, there's going to be someone that's going to come to that spot and do the count on April 1st. A lot of people have questions about, you know, I had someone living with me last week, I might have someone next week, so April 1st is census day. So whoever you have in your household on that day, that is who you count on your census.
I'll just throw in, and Melissa made me aware of this. If you get anything in the mail that asks for your social security number, it's not from the census.
That was the
It's-
next thing I was going to say, because they talked about
it's not
scams.
from the
This will be
census.
the #1 scam opportunity for.
And they are already floating
They're already
around
done it.
our county.
They're already done it.
Yeah, we've already had, actually had 3 different calls about it. People have called our office and just said, hey, is this legit? And it is not legit if it asks for your social security number, banking information, which, you know, is pretty obvious, but they can slip that social security number on a form and make it look legit. Because of course, all of the forms are published out there. I mean, you can see what they look like before you get one, before you go online. So just look out for that, no social security numbers.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Melissa, I'm sure you will when on your talks or advertising, you'll stress what the dollar figures means for each individual. It means something for them if they live in Union County. It's just
That's
not.
exactly right. And it goes to everything, from roads to food programs to
Lunches.
lunches. I mean, it is
literally how dollars are allocated, for the next 10 years for this county for SAD overall permanent programs. $2,000 per person is not counted.
It's kind of like help us,
For 2
help.
years.
It's kind of like help us, help you.
Yes,
Really,
exactly. That's correct.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
I do feel I was correct in saying expert. After that.
Yeah.
thank
She
you.
must be your constituent.
She's an expert on the census. I have talked to Julie about a speed limit on a road, which I'll present at the next meeting. It's a small road, and it just doesn't have it posted, so I'm just gonna get one posted, go through the process.
Okay.
Oh, for speed limit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I'd like to also look at the spring cleanup for May or June, which I'll get a date hopefully by the next meeting. And they've been very successful, and we talk about cleaning up the sides of the roads. The cities we've done big effort for us too.
Okay.
But we gotta work out some other issues. too.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Alex, I want to thank you for taking time to be here. It's refreshing to have somebody on the ground and local representative, so thank you for that. Mike, I want to thank you for addressing many of my requests there in the district. I know sometimes you have to feel like, well, everybody's trying to prod to get theirs done, and I know you've got a long list of a lot of things to do, and you and your guys do a great job, so I don't want you to ever think that way, but recognize what you do, but I do appreciate you addressing those. Thank you. And when you start work on that bridge replacement, if you can remember, shoot me a text or something, I'd like to come down with it. Thanks.
All right. Master Burns?
I'd just like to say that we need to keep remembering our cheerleaders and our sports programs at the high school, and keep nudging them on, they will be number one. And also, I'd like to thank Mike, he's gonna teach me a little bit about this computer, so I can put these programs in here right. I'm an old timer, and I don't understand as fast as I used to.
Well, I think we all struggle, so you're not
But
alone in
anyway,
that.
I'd like to thank the court too for bidding it and on this, getting this mower from Moffitt's Lake.
Okay.
Tractor, we really need it. I think it'll be a big asset to us later down the road. And that's it.
All right. Master Clemens?
Yes, thank you. It's got a call from Johnny Buckman the other day, said he's got a semi turned around, backed around all over his yard, so it's another instance where they cut through, instead of staying on, they go cut through Hightsville, and they went up to a dead end road, and they're trying to turn around, but I've talked to Mike, and we're trying to work on trying to get some sign. There's a sign there, right there's that intersection, no outlet, so, but the guy went
Pretty
on up-
straightforward.
Yeah, no outlet, and he went up there with the semi. So, have you come up with anything on some more signs where we can, if we could put it on Mason Creek and Hightsville down where they come off 359, Mike? I know we talked about it and we were debating.
I'm concerned that you're gonna try to restrict traffic going through instead of on that dead end part. That's my only concern about it.
Okay. So we'll just let them keep flowing like they're flowing.
If we get, any way we could enforce that with our sheriff's office to, when we catch one back there?
It's an open road until you get to that point, and you gotta make a right on Hightsville to go out the other end.
Well, he'd still be liable for damages to a yard, I would assume, if he turned around, correct? Yeah. I mean,
I don't think any of these people would want to go through there if they knew where they're, what they're getting into.
well, I mean, they're driving through a sign now, so I mean, I don't,
Right.
they tell me at District Garage that the only way to keep out definitely is have a flashing light police car sitting there. They won't do it, and, I mean, there's, obviously, can't do that, so. Hopefully we can, and maybe we encourage Mr. Buckman that get license plates and all, we'll
Oh,
try.
yeah, the guy, he said, I'm here right now trying to pull him out. He's really nice, and I'm sure he reimbursed him, and he had loaded another involved, I think it was Jim David Meats, but, it's not Jim David's fault. They get the cheap GPS system, and it takes them through there.
Yeah.
It's just, And if they knew where they were getting into, they'd say, how am I going through there?
Right.
So it's narrow roads, sharp turns, and dead ends and things. It's,
Joe and I talked about it, we can get new signs and put them up there at the beginning of the dead end. But then, like we talked, I'm concerned about putting signs up on the open end of it.
Right.
Because you're trying to restrict traffic going through.
Yeah. Maybe try it where it starts the dead end part and maybe see if that would help, so.
It's where roads got no outlet.
Maybe a no outlet, this means you, or
You in
something.
the semi, 'cause you're in. Johnny Butman done what's in his yard and had to pull you out. But, Johnny said the guy was real nice, and he was working with him, he just rather they didn't come through there, and I know. Of course, Mike, we've been struggling for the answer to that question, how do you keep them out of there? And also on the signs on, down on where people are watching the deer, or the eagles and throwing their garbage out, if you have any signs put up there like.
Not up yet, but I've got two of them.
Good, okay, good deal, I appreciate that, Mike. Maybe that'll help them, because I know some of the residents trying to stop and say, y'all not supposed to be throwing trash out here, but we have that $500 fine and jail time and all that, maybe that'll discourage them. Thanks, Mike, I appreciate your help on all that. And I've had a request from the chief at Whistler Meadows, wondering if we could start mowing their lot there. The county could mow that.
Yeah, I think we probably can help them, yeah.
'Cause I know they let us use it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
it's so,
be easy enough to take care of.
okay. Say, that's all I have. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session under KRS 61.810(1) subsection C.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Litigation on it.
Yes. Alex, make yourself at home, get you a bottle of water, and I'll be there in just a few minutes. Thank you.
I just want to make sure